See, one of the biggest questions was, you know, when we did the I'm a boy anorexic.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest questions, I mean, on YouTube, the video, the actual entire thing's up there, except to a point. There's a part that misses. It's where I get weird and then it cuts because of the copyright of the music. One of the episodes had to be cut and removed off YouTube. So everyone's always asked what happened at that point. Just to let you know, if you've ever seen it, I did go back for like one day. So he wanted me back down in Rhodes Farm.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that was really good fun. Getting on an 8-hour train to London, staying in one night, getting weighed again in the morning, meeting the weight, and then coming back to Barrow.
Yeah, I remember that. Like you were pissed off. You weren't happy at all.
Damn right. I was pissed off. Do you know who was showing at the canteen that night I missed?
Who?
Enter Shikari.
No way. No
I
way.
missed. Yeah. Cause still on the farm.
Yeah. Have you actually ever seen them live?
No. And I never will. That was when Enter Shikari was the best. That's when it was like Motherships and Johnny Sniper. That's when Enter Shikari was
I think I
on Screamo. And now they're all political. Yes, they're still just as good. But they're not the Enter Shikari that I grew up with.
Yeah, I think I better be quiet then, because I certainly I may or may not have seen them live in a room with only like 20 people, and it was amazing.
I know you did. You're an ass. So yeah, I got to miss that.
But I mean, you're doing a lot better now, and I think that's
Shikari. There's a point when it doesn't matter.
But actually, that's another thing. With regards to the music that we were listening to at the time, that was something that I felt that was definitely helping us along. Don't you think?
Yeah, definitely music. Yeah.
So the kind of bands that we were listening to at that time were Enter Shikari, Fight Star,
My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Lost Prophets as well. But I don't really want to talk about them now that what happened with Ian Watkins.
Yeah, that was
horrible. Man. It was horrible. But yeah, there were loads of bands that were helping us along the way, and it was great. I mean, definitely for me, going to see live bands was one of the things that I loved doing, and that was another reason that sort of dragged me home, because I was like, I can't do that when I'm in Rhodes Farm. And I remember it was almost every weekend I was going to see a band. It was great. I mean, that's the sort of benefit of living in London. You live in like the middle of nowhere where no one really wants to go and see.
We did have Enter Shikari. We had In Me. In Me are awesome. We've had Elliot Minor.
Elliot Minor, yeah.
Funeral for a Friend. And a few others. My Passion, who were awesome on Kerrang at one point. They were everywhere on Kerrang and then they just stopped.
Yeah.
But no, we had a place called the Canteen. It's shut down now. It's a shame. And you used to have like live local bands come every like week, and do awesome fun, screamo, rock out. It was good. And then I had the occasional big band that would come, but something happened to it and it just shut down. So you don't get those live acts anymore. You get the occasional Rat Pack in the forum.
Yeah.
Or some weird musical which no one really bothered about, but back then, you used to have like bands coming every weekend, so you knew what you were doing on a Friday, Saturday night. You were going to the canteen. You'd have a bottle of Red Bull that was filled with vodka, and you just get lathered, moshing away to some band. And now, obviously, if you watch the recording back, they were terrible. But because you were drunk, it was the best night you'd ever had.
I think you should at some point. I mean, we should definitely properly meet up and maybe, I don't know.
Fight Star, they're touring again.
Yeah, they're touring again. I was thinking, just if you can come down to London at one point or come down to Cambridge, because a lot of bands come to Cambridge actually. They've got a wicked place there called the Corn Exchange. And I mean, if you come down, we can certainly do some sort of collaboration video again, and that'd be great. And then we can go and actually see some music, which would be awesome.
I'm working now, so obviously I got money coming in. I'm getting my own place soon, so things will be easier. So once I know my schedule and my rota, if I've got like a time when you're available as a band, which we both like, which is showing in Cambridge or something, I'll get that day off if it goes on the weekend, and I'll come down.
That'd be sick. That'd be sick. That'd be awesome, man. Oh, another one. With regards to the inpatient Rhodes Farm, is there any part of the program that you didn't agree with?
Ooh, tough one.
I have to say the thing that sort of struck me was they put such a massive emphasis on refeeding rather than the therapy side of it, because I went to therapist and one family therapy session a week, which I know that a lot of people struggled with because they were having to get their family to come from all over just for like one session. And then the group therapy, which I remember that it was rubbish. It wasn't really that good.
No, we just messed about, really.
Yeah, and you know, in that sense, because such an emphasis was placed on refeeding without you having a good like therapy behind it, you weren't really prepared for the weight gain, and you know, you weren't feeling good as you were going along. That was something that was definitely bad. And when I went to the Priory last year, there was a massive emphasis on therapy. We'd have CBT, which was cognitive behavioral therapy, one day. The next day we'd have psychotherapy. We'd have an individual therapist, and then we could have family therapy if we chose to. There was, I think it's called PT or psychotherapy that you could choose to do, and they sort of try to tailor it to you.
No, that's actually quite good. That, I mean, I'll agree with you on that one, actually. When it came to group therapy, I live in Cumbria, and it's very far away from London, where we were in Rhodes Farm.
Yeah,
that was nice. If it was issues trains, 12 hours at a time. So obviously I had to get my parents to come down to do that, so they had to take time out from work and their jobs to get it done. And that was a nightmare, not only on their job, but financially as well. So you're kind of forced to go along with it to get that therapy to come down, and it was a nightmare. It really was. I'd rather would have had it more solo therapy and group therapy than family therapy, because family therapy never personally helped me.
Same for me. Same for me. It ended up just being an argument.
Yeah, it was. It didn't get anything done. Family therapy never helped. That's not the issue about being the family or the family structure or getting that fixed. That's never been the issue.
Yeah.
It's always been myself and how I feel, you know?
And I think that's why Rhodes Farm should have sort of tailored your therapy to who you are rather than what they think is best for you. The other thing that I didn't really agree with in Rhodes Farm was they used food as a sort of punishment. Do you remember, like, if you weren't eating well, they put you on something called stepping stones, where they would make everything condensed into a meal. So, did you remember? Yeah, I think, yeah. So, if you didn't eat the meal, which could be very balanced, they would give you a muffin that was just packed full of cheese so they could get the calories in. And if you didn't have that, they put it into a milkshake. You know, they were using it as a sort of punishment in a way, which I didn't really agree with. There was something else. It wasn't that good. And in order for you to establish a healthy relationship with food again, you want to sort of start liking it.
You see, the thing is, when you do that, you then start scaring the patients, and especially Warren, he was only a kid, you know.
Yeah.
And he had a high metabolism.
Very high.
Very high. So obviously he was like, what, 8, 9?
Yeah.
And he was having 3,500 plus calories, massive meal portions. It got to a point where he was eating that much, he was getting sick from it.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that annoyed me about Rhodes Farm was everything was very high fat content based, which isn't going to be good. Isn't going to be good for anybody, especially at that age, you know? Having such high fat in your diet at that age, it's going to make you ill. It's not teaching you about food. It's not teaching what's good, what's bad, you know? But I believe everything in moderation. I eat what I want now without worrying about it. I haven't had, I don't know, cheese toasty in forever. Yeah, I meant some cheese toasty. Back then, you were scared to have it because of what was inside it.
Yeah, they would
teach you that, and they would pack it, and then they would kind of say, right, you're not eating that, you can have this instead, you know. And that would scare you because of it. It's like, why are they giving me that? All the calories inside it. It would make you worry. So I would make. Because I remember when we were doing the home, when we went home, we got your diet all sorted and stuff, and we were saying what to do. And my mum and dad kind of went by what Rhodes Farm said, and he made me a cheese sandwich. to get my calories all in a sandwich, and it was 2 slices of bread and completely packed with cheese and full fat mayo. And the tower was stacked. It was like that full of cheese to get my diet started. And that's what Rhodes Farm said. Now, obviously, if you talk to any nutritionist or doctor, if you're having that every day, that's going to mess up with your arteries, you know?
Yeah.
So they weren't right in terms of actual working on
nutrition.
The diet.
They weren't good with nutrition.
Yeah, they weren't nutritionists. They weren't great at it. Now, I'm fine with having a massive stack of cheese because I love cheese now.
Yeah.
I love cheese. So I'm fine with that. But back then, you know, you weren't. You never had that training. We had one training session. It's a training one time where we'd sit with Dee in the classroom bit and just tell us about food and what eating disorders does to your body and stuff. And she stated every calorie is equal.
No.
Well, it's not.
Yeah, I remember that. What is it? A calorie is a calorie. Was her?
A calorie is not. It isn't.
No, it's not.
You've got different structures and strands. So obviously, 4 calories of protein is equivalent to 1 gram of protein is what is it? It's 4 calories.
1 gram of protein is 4 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrates is 4 calories. 1 gram of fat is 9 calories.
Yeah, but it's all.
And they all have different functions. Like that.
Yeah.
So it's
so obviously she went into a calorie is a calorie, but actually it's not. I mean, if you ask a bodybuilder, all right, to just eat 3,000 calories of nothing but fat, they're not going to be bodybuilders, you know?
No.
Each thing, each food group, each carb, protein, and fat does its own specific thing, each function to help and heal your body. And that I was sitting there thinking, I was only 13 or 14. I think that's not right.
Yeah,
that's not right.
You don't have to be a doctor to know that's not right. And I mean, Dee's left now. She's retired, and the Rhodes Farm is completely different because I went back there to talk to like the patients there as someone who's come out the other end and is now in university and thing. And it's owned by someone completely different. I think it's under something called KUK. I'm guessing that the program might have changed as well. I don't know, but it's gone under massive changes. It feels like such an age ago, and it's been 10 years, man. Almost 10 years.
Oh no, yeah, it's been a very long time.